I'm excited about this one, ladies and gentlemen, in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. And I get a chance finally to speak with somebody from my own state. It's about time. I mean, I speak to people in the UK, I speak to people in other parts of the country, and now I finally get to speak with somebody in my own state and of a company that, let's just say, they're no longer misfits. They're no longer unwanted. They're definitely wanted here on this platform because our guest has certainly been a lightning rod these past few weeks and few months, especially in two companies, especially in House of Misfits Entertainment, where he is part of those roommates champions. He's going to talk about that. He's even got the medal there with him. He's also going to talk about, did I see things last Saturday in the NEW All Out War Rumble? Because our guest certainly made quite an entrance and quite a return to NEW. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what's next for our guests. We're going to talk about maybe some familiar names, familiar faces. We're going to talk about maybe places that our guests would like to go. And I'm going to say maybe a few things that I didn't think I would say, but I'm going to say in a little while. And even for our guest, it might surprise him. And plus, I'm going to have a surprise for our guest because, after all, it is his birthday this week. And I thought, why not get the festivities ready a little early and do something a little different that, well, let's just say might surprise our guest. And it is Valentine's Day, after all. And I have to, in a way, do something to honor Valentine's Day. Now, I'm not going to play Cupid with you. Don't you worry about that. I'll give a shout out to a lady later on. But I am going to most certainly make sure that I do at least make your day. But since we are in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and home, the rest of the gang helped build, Sportswire Radio, to the tune of over 1,400 subscribers, where we had not one but two of those magical moments with the Man Beast, the War Machine Rhino, and this guy Savio Vega, who some would say was responsible for the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm going to give you that introduction because even though you sort of got it a month ago with Mickey Vargas, I'm going to give you that introduction solo style to acknowledge you. So you've got a medal. We're acknowledging you. We're acknowledging home. We're acknowledging that you're no longer unwanted because I know that the chat wants it. You definitely want it because you definitely are the big dog. And I'm going to give it to you right now. X is going to give it to you, to quote DMX. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get the weekend off here in style with a bang on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one global sports show. A man that is certainly upstate in the Empire State. A man who's no longer unwanted. He's definitely wanted, whether he's wanted dead or alive. He's one half of the roommates champions. He's a streamer, he's a dreamer, and he's one of the premier wrestlers around in House of Misfits Entertainment, Backyard Wrestling, and now in NEW Underground Wrestling. His name is, simply put, the Big Dog Torrance.
Wow.
The champ is here, my friend. How are we doing?
Man, that intro was amazing, Tom. Like, my goodness. 2 thumbs up, 10 stars. My question is, how are you doing, my good sir?
you can ask me when we're off the air, but I was energized to have you on. I, was in my friendly confines in I can't say it's beautiful Brooklyn right now because it's really cold in Brooklyn, like it is in Buffalo. Probably a lot more colder in Buffalo. I had a couple slices of pizza. I was getting ready to go on the air. I felt ready to go, and I felt, you know what? Torrance Banks is here. I got a little surprise for him later on. His birthday's this week, and I got to give him that extra oomph in that introduction. Because after all, if I could do it for Rhino and Savio Vega and they can endorse it, I got to do it for one of my own here in my own state,
I mean, but you think about it too. I mean, that's Rhino and Savio Vega. Those are legends right there. Like what are we talking about? Savio Vega, as you said, is the guy who who started Stone Cold's career, and then you got Rhino, the final ECW World Champion. Like those are two names.
And I wanted to give you the same introduction because you're also from my state. I want to make sure I greet our, fellow New Yorkers, although some would say, I think Draven said this last Monday, which I'm sure you'll get to him and we'll not break the fourth wall for that when he comes in. But people say, downstate, they don't consider upstate the Empire State, but I most certainly do because I'm one of the few people that actually knows every county. I actually know all 62 counties, so I actually will say that.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate you. And yep.
We'll talk Luke Draven later because
we're going to definitely talk about that, but it is great to be with you. Now, I'm going to talk about Luke Draven, but I think I want to talk where you most recently made a return, a long-awaited return. I want to talk about that, especially for the audience here. So for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where you, Torrance Banks, and the rest of House of Misfits Entertainment, Backyard Wrestling, and now NEW helped build Sportswire Radio. What were you doing last Saturday in that all-out War Rumble?
I was just trying to get my name out there, like how the Unwanted got their name out there. I wanted to get my name out there on my own. Like Shockey and Vargas got their thing going on when they're doing what they're doing. And I wanted to, make an appearance and say, hey, I'm not gone. It's like, hi, everybody. Like, I'm here. Like, I'm here to wrestle. And you know what, Tom? There's one person in that Rumble that kind of got me a little heated because not only did they eliminate me, right? Not only did they eliminate
put the
me.
Rumble up in a minute while you do that. I'm putting it up on the screen.
They eliminated me with my own Samoan spike. They eliminated me with one of my own finishers, and the person I'm talking to is Hiroshima.
I knew you were going there. In fact, I'm glad you said that because I actually have it segued right to where you guys meet up.
Yeah. Now, everybody knows, everybody who's watched Sportswire knows Hiroshima and knows like...
Yes, I've been very impressed with Hiroshima. I've been in a lot of the NEW chats. I saw you in the chat, last weekend. I've been trying to get into, a lot of the different NEW chats because a lot of the gang have been here, and Hiroshima's really impressed me of late.
Absolutely. He's impressed me too. He's impressed me to the point where I actually got in the ring with him, as you guys know, at Shockey's house party.
Yep.
For the Fatal 4-Way at Shockey's house party. As you could tell, I kind of was pulled out of the ring by,
and Shima and Kuma certainly had their issues with two people you know very well, and Rob O'Malley and Stephen Havoc.
Absolutely. And it's like, first things first, I got to say, I've been very, very impressed with Stephen Havoc, like 100%.
Yep.
And it's like, but it seems like everywhere the Unwanted goes, and you know this, Tom, everywhere the Unwanted goes, it seems that Stephen Havoc is always there to follow.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because that goes back to a company I'm going to mention in a little while. Yeah, it goes back to for 2.5 years now. 2.5 years that goes back.
Yeah, it seems like either he wants war or he's trying to wrestle some of us in a match, or he's trying to, I don't know, get the smoke. I don't know what they're saying nowadays, but yeah, as you can tell, I'm outside of the ring still with Brother Shock, and we hear familiar music. We hear familiar music, and boy, you see Shock and I standing side by side. If we're standing side by side, something bad's about,
Grimes,
boy.
yeah.
And as you can tell by that man right there, me and him have had wars.
And Joe
at
Starr
House
had a
of
war with
Misfit
Shocky's house party also.
he had a war with Joe Starr as well. And then, as you can see, he gets in the ring. Big man Grimes gets in the ring and double choke slam Shocky and I. Apparently, Shocky
like
fell down at this
too.
point.
I mean, dude, that was like nothing what he did to both of you guys. You guys are big guys.
Yeah. And apparently, Shocky at this point, Shocky fell down, according to the meme last week. The meme of the week last week, Shocky fell down. So, as you can tell, I am between Havoc and O'Malley.
I see that.
And all of a sudden, yeah. And then during this part, when Grimes is having his, brawl fest with Justin Abel Sane there, he gets eliminated. Sane gets thrown out. Then I get thrown out a couple minutes after by.
And Sane what he did to Sane was like short work, like nothing,
Exactly. Like no one really expected, because Sane is a big guy. You know this.
I know.
Sane is a big dude.
Been in my face a few times. Yeah, I've seen him on Sportswire.
Yeah, Abel Sane's a big dude, and so is Grimes. If you've seen him wrestle up close on him, this man does things that
every week at home. You see it every week.
Yeah, he does things that in that ring that you barely see. And yeah, this was as you were saying, this was my return 6 years.
I know. I was going to ask you about
making.
that. I was going to ask you about that. I mean, 6 years. Why did it take so long to come back?
I don't know. See, right here. Bam. Samoan spike over the top rope by Hiroshima. It took me 6.
I'll come back to it. Let me pull it up with it. I think we had a different camera angle. Let's go like this. Here we go.
It took me 6 years to return back because I wanted to get my name, make myself a bigger name before I came back. Because 6 years ago, I was still, a no name having, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say undercardling, but like, you know what I mean, Tom. I was a no.
Well, I don't want to say it in that terms. That's I was a no name. I was a no name personality in the world of the underground, and now with the unwanted, like you said, we're not unwanted anymore. Buffalo's unwanted. We're not unwanted everywhere. Unwanted anymore. We're wanted everywhere now. So, yeah, well, that's for sure. And we're watching it here again in slow motion, sort of, and I'm keeping an eye on what I see.
Yeah, Joe Starr.
You're right behind
those Spade in the ring. Yeah, they got that. Spade and Joe Starr got their beef. Like,
well, I got Tyson Spade tomorrow at 7:00, so I got plenty.
Oh boy.
I'm sure with there, and there's no question that I might see
thrown out.
Yep, we're coming to it right there. Yep.
And then bam, Samoan spike over the top.
You were there.
There is a reason why I bring this up, and
by
the board of NEW, I am allowed to announce this. But at Star Clash 7, one of NEW's biggest shows of the year. There goes Brother Vargas. Biggest shows of the year. I want to wrestle Hiroshima 1-on-1. Star Clash 7, biggest show of the year for one of the biggest shows of the year for
you
NEW.
Just dropped a Shima like bomb. You want Hiroshima Star Clash 7? Oh,
exactly.
My God.
I want Hiroshima because everybody's impressed with him. Everybody says they're impressed with Hiroshima. I'm impressed with him too. I want to see what he could do in the ring against a guy who's been doing this for a very long time in myself.
And you got some business with him in some history. And what better way to continue that at one of the biggest shows NEW is going to put on? I think every show they top themselves, and I'm sure this one won't
absolutely. And it's not even the fact that I have this. It's not even the fact that I have this. I have this. I have the Roommates Championship. But it's not.
We're going to talk about that.
But my match with Hiroshima is not about the Roommates Championship, not at all. Because, Tom, as you don't know, I am a former head of the household champion myself. So I know what it means to win the big one.
And you were an RWA Monroe County champion.
At the same time, not a lot of people know that, but at the same time, I held both belts.
Yeah.
But speaking of Monroe County and the RWA, that was a fun time.
You know what? I'm going to come back to NEW in a minute. I don't want to talk about Hiroshima, but you know what? We were talking about this off the air, and I really think, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I went back and watched some of it. I think RWA, it's going to age like fine wine because there was potential in it. Obviously, there were certain things that should have been better with the RWA and how it was run, but there was a lot of talent and there was a lot of people that I really think we're seeing now go on and do a lot of great things. And I think it was there. It was right there in front of us, but it, for whatever reason, wasn't the right time. I don't know why, what, and where, but in terms of it getting to the stage, it should be where it is now. It should have been where NEW should have been, where home is going to, and it didn't quite catch. It's almost like the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. They were right there, but they couldn't execute. They had the ball, fourth quarter, 3 minutes left, and couldn't
execute. Could not execute. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Tom. I feel like with RWA, it's like there was a time where we wanted to do the RWA thing, like, and everybody was trying to jump aboard. You know what I mean? Like that was where the 518 was formed. That was the exact program that Buffalo's Unwanted was formed. Was in RWA. That was when like Tiger Smith came in and helped us. And
I was on a Facebook video chat with Tiger Smith once. That was an interesting conversation.
Tiger and his son Tiger Kid came in as well. And a whole bunch of people came in to help. And then you're right. One thing led to another and everything just crashed and fumbled. And it's like,
but the talent was there, Havoc, O'Malley, Vargas, yourself, Shock, Draven, Damian Saint was in that. I mean, there was definitely players there
was big time Grayson Black. There was big time players that were American Oni. Yep. There were big time players that were there
last week in the Rumble, and we've seen him in home. Yeah, it was some like a lot of big talents. That it was there. It just the execution, like I said, it
like got we were getting.
Yeah,
it's like we were getting views. We were getting there. We were pushing the product, and we were getting there. But it's just. We couldn't get over that one spot that it was needed to get over. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think people, unfortunately, I think the execution, wasn't there. I think people looked at, a certain individual being in the company. I know here that kind of gave it, unfortunately, a black mark, that one individual with 3 initials not going there.
Yeah. I wouldn't even. The thing is this: I wouldn't even blame. I honestly would not blame him. Honestly, like
no,
I don't.
You know what? Neither would I. But I know people here on this platform, almost
they give him a bad rep. Yeah,
they gave him a bad rap, and they gave a predetermined opinion of what the company was. But going back and watching it again, there was a lot of talent. There was a lot of promise. It was there. I mean, the storylines. You guys forming the big group, fighting with Tiger. I mean, Saint, Black, Oni coming in. There was people there. The announcing was great. The packages, the video packages. There was storyline. It was there. It just, it just didn't execute.
Absolutely. Most of the video packages, I believe, you could thank Havoc for those.
Yeah.
He's very like when it comes to this wrestling. When it comes to this. I think Havoc is very more determined. Like I think he's determined to do this, and it's insane nowadays. Vargas too. Like, and you see the progression of Vargas. You've seen the evolution of Mickey Vargas. You've seen basically everybody. You've seen the evolution.
You were here. Listen, you were here with him. We talked about him going to Texas. You guys going to WSW. You guys going to these different places. Yeah, I mean,
wanting to go to Chase Wakefield's wedding.
Like, we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. I'm definitely going to talk about Chase because I see Chase Wakefield here in the chat, and I have a few things to say about Chase Wakefield. But yeah, I mean, well, no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. But in terms of you guys and the rest of Unwanted, who I keep saying I no longer want it. But yeah, just to put a bow in it, because I want to go back to NEW and I want to talk about Hiroshima because I want to promote that. We have Vortex tomorrow at 12. I'm going to put the NEW link. I'm going to put up, because it's your day. I'm going to put the RWA, YouTube page in a minute up. But, I do think just in putting a bow on it, RWA, it was there. The potential was there for it. Unfortunately, we were talking about this off the air. It's kind of like a lot of underground wrestling companies sometimes that there was the wonkiness, but it could have been more than it was. But that's unfortunately like some underground companies. It was there, and it didn't connect. It just for whatever reason. But the talent was there, and we're seeing it now play out. TF Crew, or in WTW, or in places now like NEW. Most certainly, I think that you're seeing what was there being played out here. So who benefited from that was NEW. Who benefited from that was TF Crew, WTW, different places that, all you guys have gone to. But, John had it right in front of him, and, it just didn't work out.
Absolutely, man. And it's just insane how RWA just crashed and burned the way it did. Like I kind of
I
wish
thought it was a great idea. You know what? When John, he reached out to me about it in 2022, and it was, I think, John then Havoc. I thought it was going to be a surefire hit because I thought where we are in our state, I thought it would have given a niche or to an area that's kind of lacking underground wrestling, give an opportunity for guys across the state and guys in the surrounding areas that chance to go out and get their talent showcased. I thought it was a great idea,
I feel like that's kind of what they wanted to do. Like Havoc and John, they wanted to do when they reached out to Shockey, myself, Luke, and Vargas, and a lot of us Buffalo guys. They wanted people to come out and people who've done it for a long time. Like a lot of people don't know, like Shock and Vargas and Luke and I. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, a minute.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a minute now.
XTCW we spoke about even, last week. You guys have been around. You guys have, been doing this, over a decade. I mean, you even had, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat entrance music.
That was just.
I'm not going there. Yeah, I'm not going there.
That was just me during the whole promo wrestling thing. I did that too. So
yeah, I do a little bit of it. I don't know a lot about it, but there's a niche for it. But no, I understand. You guys have been around, a long time. And by the way, if you're here real quick, do me a favor. Go hit a sub for Torrance. Go do that. Trust me. Do it for the big dog, or else he's gonna really turn unleash himself. But go hit a sub button. He's at 58 subs. Let's get him to 60. I see a bunch of people here in the chat. We're gonna get to you. But listen, RWA, it was there. But let's go back to NEW for a few minutes. So again, you got a big match here with Hiroshima. You got history, and I think also talking about that, considering the success that Havoc has had, O'Malley has had. We saw Shock and Vargas come in last weekend in the Rumble. I would have to think, we're going to hear from them tomorrow on Vortex. I would have to think, seeing what they have done, that's got to motivate you here to really make quite a statement and show, what? If those guys have been going out, I mean, listen, Havoc and O'Malley are the tag team champs right now. Shock and Vargas made quite a statement last summer here. I'm sure what they're going to say tomorrow, we're all going to be tuned into. But seeing what they have done here in NEW, that's got to motivate you here to really do just as much, or if not more, than they have.
It really does. I mean, you really think about it when Shock and Vargas decided to, when they were going to NEW the first time for All Out Rumble, I was the first one. I think I was like one of the first people they contacted, talking about, yo, you should come with us. Like, yes, we're the unwanted, but if you're walking by yourself at AEW, you should be able to, soar like everybody else. And it's like, I feel like, yeah, pretty much. I feel like they sometimes Shockey lights a fire. There's times where Shockey will sit there and light a fire under my ass. And then there's times where, and then there's also times where
got that personality. I know Shockey's personality now. It took me a while, but I got it now, so I could see that.
I've known the guy for 15 years, Tom, It's one of those. Yeah, I've known Shockey for a very long time. So
But
he
seeing
likes
what
he
they've done, it's got to really for
light a
you.
fire under me.
And
It
what
really
way to
does.
do? And what way to do that with Hiroshima? Because a lot of people have been impressed with him because he's really come a long way these last few months. He's been a guy that's shown he's proven himself now in the ring. He's a big guy. He's got size. He's starting to show that he's one of these cornerstone guys that I think we're going to see a lot of in the coming years. TF Crew, obviously NEW, Shocky's house party. So he's running in a lot of the circles that guys that you've shared locker rooms with have. And what a way to show that you're the veteran, you're the elder statement, and you're the true big dog.
Exactly. Why not? Why not? Why not pick the biggest guy in the yard? And what's the old saying? Find the biggest guy in the yard and punch him in the mouth.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my idea for Hiroshima, because Hiroshima is one of the biggest names in NEW, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Besides,
I think he's right
there.
Yeah.
So why not? I wrestle him. I beat him. I make a name for myself in NEW, and then see what goes on and see what happens from there.
Okay, but let me ask you though this question. Then let's say you're gonna go out in Star Clash 7. You're gonna beat Shima, and then what's next? I mean, do you have sights set on other champions? D Savage is the world champion. You've got obviously the tag championships, which I'm sure you'll have a thought or two on. I mean, what's your situation is there?
I got my eyes set on a certain somebody.
Okay, you don't have to say.
I got my eyes set on a certain. How should I call him? A certain star.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
I got my eyes on that beautiful Northeastern Championship, if you know what I'm talking about.
Well, ironically, you went all eyes on me. I know you're a Tupac guy. Shima, all eyes on me. Then you went Star, and Joe Star, a guy that you've obviously run.
A guy who I have nothing but respect for. Like a guy
I
who
call him the Puerto Rican Dusty Rhodes right now.
Exactly. A guy who I have, but here's the thing though. He's a guy I have nothing but respect for. Obviously.
Okay. I love Joe. Break the fourth wall. Joe is one of he's one of my favorites that comes on here. There's something about Joe. Leave aside his commentary skills. I love Joe.
I've seen him. I saw him wrestle Grimes at Shocky's house party.
Yes.
And I was thoroughly impressed. Shockey and we were thoroughly impressed watching his match.
Yeah, he's come a long way because he's really on the big stage. What have we seen him on it for? 8 months, 7 months on the big stage, really? And he's he's
absolutely
really developed himself into a big player, in a short amount of time. He beat Gabe Sayers. He's going out there with defeated D Savage. I mean, D Savage is a guy in the Indies. I mean, he's done some really big things. Absolutely.
Heck, he won the Northeastern Championship.
Beat D Savage who took it from Power. Sure.
He took it from Power. That's even more impressive.
Well, Savage took it from Power Surge, and then Star took it from Savage. That's the lineage of the title. I mean, and Surge held that title for over a year. I mean, that's although Jake will get triggered if I mention the name Power Surge. I don't want to trigger Jake.
we definitely don't want to trigger Jake.
No. I'm good right now. But Joe Star's a name. Kind of like you personality-wise a bit. Another guy that's in that realm. Joe's got a personality. Joe conducts himself. But Joe, unlike you're the veteran in this game. And Joe has left himself open and vulnerable from attacks from Tyson Spade. And, I don't even know if he's going to hold on to that Northeast Championship. So really, your sights on Joe Star. You think he will? You sure?
I think he'll be able to beat Tyson Spade. I think Tyson Spade has gotten
tomorrow though. Tyson's going to probably disagree with you though. He's here tomorrow night. He's going to tell me, why that's different. Why he has a difference of opinion.
Well, either way it goes, I'm definitely going to be having eyes on that championship match. And
it'll be a lot for you too, right? Because you've been a double champion at the same time. You've held major gold. You've got the roommates championships now on you. And, what a statement that would be to take the Northeast title, right? We think about Buffalo. Buffalo, when you think about the map, right? it's kind of the epicenter of the Northeast. I mean, that's the true definition.
Absolutely.
The 716, right? I might be in the 718, but you're in the 716. And, that would be quite a way to show who really represents the Northeast by you taking home that Northeast championship, good sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't mind adding it to the lineage of championships that I have held. So,
but there's something else, and we're here with Torrance Banks. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. You have voice figuratively and literally we're all wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, Torrance has got a YouTube page. Do me a favor. Go hit the sub for him. We got a lot of people here right now in the chat. Thank you very much for coming here on YouTube. I see like 16 or 17 people here right now. So if you're here, you haven't subbed to his page. Jesus. Go sub to it. Well, you're in prime time. Like I said, Rhino was here. Savio Vega was here. The people, they want to hear you speak. So trust me, the people, I always say it all the time. The people tell me who they want to hear speak. And right now, they want to hear you speak. But, I want to ask you this question about Joe. And I asked Joe this question. I'm sure this is going to come up with Tyson because he was a Northeast champion before. I feel like Joe has struggled, though, in the fact that he's had to transition now from being a guy that was the hunter to now the hunted. He's had his problems with Spade. He's had his problems with Gabe Sayers and other people on that roster. What's your thoughts on a guy like yourself who's held gold throughout your career? What's your thoughts on that?
I feel like you're absolutely right. With Joe Star struggling from being the hunter to the hunted, from being the hunter to being now the prey, like it's kind of a different situation because you don't know who to trust nowadays. Like you would think with Joe Star and Tyson Spade that you would think that Tyson Spade was looking out for the best of Joe Star, but at the end of the day,
isn't that on Joe? Because Joe should have been keeping you mentioned all eyes on me, but he should have had his eyes
should have been keeping eyes on the back of his head because with Tyson Spade is getting a little bit more. But
you know what that analogy
hungrier.
was? Now you'll get this because you're from New York. When I was growing up in Brooklyn, my dad used to always say, "You gotta have your eyes in front of you. You gotta always be knowing your surroundings." He said, "You always gotta have a word street smarts." And Joe, I love Joe dearly. I really do. But I kind of, from what my vantage point is, maybe Joe doesn't have that street smarts yet to be able to keep that Northeast championship. I don't know.
It's not even the street smarts that it is. It's more along the lines of Joe Star is a lot more of a trusting person. And sometimes
that's youth. That's youth. Naive.
Exactly. Sometimes you gotta, as Stone Cold would say, don't trust anybody. DTA. Yeah. As a champion, DTA. Don't trust anybody because you never know. It could even be your best friend willing to stab you in the back for a championship.
Fair point. No, listen, it's a fair point.
And the reason I say stab you in the back, because I bet you he's probably in the chat watching this right now.
I'm gonna get to him. I know a lot of people.
You know if you're a fan of House of Misfits, you know what story I am talking about.
I want to plug home in a minute. I'm going to plug YouTube channel.
Vargas, it's the Vargas and Onyx story. It's basically that repeated in any company. It's that repeated.
Yes.
Trust no one when you're a champion. Unless you're a tag team champion like myself.
Well, I'm going to get to that. I want to plug Home's YouTube page. I know a lot of people in the chat want to talk to you. Plus, I want to give you something here in a little while, which is a big surprise. You probably don't even know what I'm going to give you, but I'm going to give you something pretty big. But I just want to say one more thing on NEW in terms of, NEW's landscape since you last were there is dramatically different. This is a company right now that's firing on all cylinders. The YouTube subs are through the roof. I was in the chat like you were last week. There 30-something people watching at one point. I mean, there's a buzz right now about the company. I mean, but can you hang in this landscape, this dramatically different landscape, this dramatically different company than the NEW you last stepped into?
I feel like I can. Okay. The last NEW I stepped into had some real heavy hitters. This one, I feel like there's heavy hitters, but there's also old friends too. And there's also old
I agree.
Rights that I need to. But I feel like with me, as you said, me being the elder statesman and stuff like that, I feel like, yes, I can 100% hang with the people that are in NEW right now. in my opinion.
Okay, fair. And that's a
It's the
fair
fact
point.
of
Go ahead.
it's the fact of I know stuff, and I've been watching, and I know what I need to do to to be able to hang with the D Savages, the Joe Stars, the
Power
Jake
surge.
Dvorak's,
Yeah.
the Power Surges, the
Reyes
Justin
Silver,
Abelstein,
Pharaohs,
Reyes
just
Silver.
Leonidas.
Another person who is on my radar as being one of the best, being one of the best is Reyes Silver. Like
Absolutely, yeah.
she's one of the best. She's one of the best wrestlers in my opinion.
I think she has
with
the
that
most.
roster.
I think she has right. I'm sure if Jake or Justin are here, they'll correct me on it. But I think Rhea has the match that's the most feud won in NEW history. I think. I mean, Jake or Justin, I'm sure would verify that for me. But yeah, I mean the talent up and down the roster. It's a tremendous roster. And if you are here, do me a favor, hit the sub button for them. I want to also hit the sub button for home. We're going to do that here right now because I actually have it right up in front of me. So all you have to do, if you want to hit the sub button, and they're at 421 subs. Let's get it to 422, because my old address growing up was 422 78th Street. So right now, I want at least to see somebody go to get us to 422, get us to, more than that. Because, even though my address was 422, we want to get it to at least more than that. But, there we go. And and Jake did want to say that Rhea is definitely one of the biggest draws we have and one of the best there is. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, no question.
Absolutely, Jake. I agree with that too. Like 100%.
Absolutely. And I want to talk about home in a few minutes. I want to get to the chat first. A lot of people want to talk with you, and let's do that here. And I think we got the line. Here we go.
All I'm gonna say is,
yep.
What up, everybody in the chat?
A lot of people here. I like to do it one by one. You got a lot of people here. I want to say thank you so much for being here with us on a Friday night. Hi to Torrance Banks. Zilla is here. Good.
Zilla, how we doing?
Plenty to say. Good old Joe. He's got plenty to
say.
Joe
Star. What is up, my boy? What's going on with you?
Do you have any commentary advice for him? Or should he do commentary still or what?
Yes, he should. I know. Here's the thing. He should, and I know a guy who would help him. I know a guy.
Good deal. I figured I'd get that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jake is here. Mr. Casey.
Hello, Jake. How are we doing?
Very happy to see you, Jake. Good. Jake's back here. Actually, he's here on the 27th on Thursday. He's here. Yep. Hello.
Oh,
yep. Mr. Hill is Jake. And there he is, Mr. Vargas himself, my unwanted.
Vargas.
There he is.
Unwanted brother. How we doing?
I think Mickey looks way better with the bald head now, by the way. I will
absolutely.
Say way better.
Absolutely.
Now, I think it's time to get to the man because he's here right now. And you had some things to say about him.
Chase Wakefield.
I want to bring him up. Because, I saw, Shockey messaged me on Facebook about this. I know you've talked about it. And I want to talk about it now. Chase Wakefield, this guy who's the Bitcoin billionaire. Well, I think that he's probably going to lose a lot of his billions on his wedding coming up here in August.
Yeah,
and
I bet you he is.
Oh, he's gonna ask me for
especially running a wrestling show at his wedding,
and he's got Matt DeMorris. But I want to know, what about the unwanted? What about that should be wanted at the Chase Wakefield wedding invitation? I was wondering what your thoughts were on that, sir, because I'm going to put his Instagram page up for that.
I am interested if he is running a show.
Yeah, he has to come back to Sportswire in a few weeks to talk about it. Yeah, he spoke to me last week and said, "You just wait till what I say next on Sportswire."
Me and Vargas, we were talking about because we were sitting with you when we were talking about it, and I think you had him the next day. And
I think he was either that or the day later or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was listening into that, and he was talking about us. About how he liked what we were doing at home, and he wanted us to come to his wedding. Well, Mr. Wakefield, I can tell you this much: I'm interested in coming to the wedding. I think Vargas may be interested too.
Oh, he's
probably get a couple of guys.
Shockey's definitely interested. Shockey.
I know Shockey's interested.
So to me, it should be a no-brainer. It should be a no-brainer that the unwanted should be a throw in Draven. No, you know what? Why don't you just take all the home roster? Why don't you take JTA? Why don't you take Grimes? I mean, who else you want to throw? You want to throw Ani in there? I mean, I don't know whoever else you want to throw in there. Throw him in.
Hey, you forgot my tag partner. What are we doing? You forgot You forgot my tag partner Falcone. Like, what are we doing?
Well, Falcone, what can I do? Well, I'll get to everybody. I'll throw them all in there. I mean, but the point is, that, you
us.
guys should all be there.
It's like this. Throw the people you want on your that are on your day one, and we can make and House of Misfits and Chase Wakefield Invitational. We can make this a bigger show than Shocky's house party was last year.
I think he's gonna wind up putting himself in such a predicament. He'll need like 4 days for this show. I know WrestleMania keeps going bigger and bigger. He's gonna need a 4-day. He's gonna need Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So you're basically saying run it like a WrestleMania sort of thing.
Yeah, because he's gonna need, by the time this kid keeps coming on Sportswire, he's gonna have 15 more wrestlers say I need to be on the card, and he's gonna have to put them on because they'll show up to the wedding.
Well, if there's a couple he don't like, I mean, he can kick them off and put us on. I mean,
well, he ain't kicking Matt DeMorris off. He ain't kicking Aaron Jones off. You
cannot kick a legend like Matt DeMorris off any wrestling.
And Mr. Wakefield's wrestling him, so we know that that's not happening.
No, it's definitely not.
He's got the stepdads. My buddy Rad Dad will not be kicked off this.
Speaking of him,
yes.
We're not gonna talk. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about him later. We'll talk about stepdad, Rad Dad later. Because
all right.
I've respected him for years and kind of want to match with him.
You want to match with Rad? You know what? Actually, I want to hear it now. So
there's a couple people
be there. Rad's going to be there at the wedding. I mean, I'm sure that if they're going to be a 3-4 day event, I mean, I'm sure I can let Rad know that
we'll run into each other sometime at that wedding. We'll run into one another.
Well, he seems to be definitely, let's just say, dating. If you're watching GTS right now, he's dating way above his age right now. He seems to be dating.
I've been watching. He's dating Grimm's mom.
That's. I didn't have that on my bingo card in 2025.
Neither did I.
But then again, Grimm's mom might be actually playing the bingos. Get it?
Amen.
When I've worked in politics, and it was 1 year, we went to literally I went with a candidate. We went to those bingo games, and it's attended by a lot of people like Grimm's mom. So maybe that's where Rad got the idea. But real quick though, so you think you should be at Shockey with Shockey and the rest of Unwanted and have a match or maybe a few matches at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, just to confirm.
Yes, we definitely are interested, and I'm interested. I know Vargas is interested if he's watching in the chat.
Oh, yeah. You got a lot of people here right now. No. Don't you worry. There's plenty.
I definitely want to be at Chase Wakefield's wedding.
Well, you know what? I'm sure he's listening to this, so he's going to have to put you guys on because you actually live near where this is taking place. And, your old friend D'Angelo, the Flames there. I mean, plenty of other people you've seen, so let's make that happen. There we go. So we'll take that off the screen. I want to see it. Plus, I got to still give you something. Let's talk about some other people. There is Luke Draven, who I know is going to be a topic very soon of not
Luke.
Yeah, but you're not going to be saying Luke in a good way very soon. I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Darkron, recently surpassed 1,000 subscribers. He was in your chair last Friday. He's kind of passed the baton off to you. And he's technically, I saw him today in the ring, but he's not wrestling in the ring yet, but he was there for ROBW. And Luke, you know what? Maybe I'm going to go into it now. Luke is trying to poke the big dog there. He's trying to poke the big dog and saying, you and Falcone are going to lose those titles. What do you say about that?
The thing is, Tom, this. Luke knows better. Luke knows better not to poke the bear. Luke knows better not to try to mess with me and stuff like that. But the thing is but my question is this though. If he wants to talk about new champs, hey Luke, where were you and Shockey at the Winter Tag Team Turmoil? Newsflash, they were for these. You weren't there at all. So where were you guys at? That's the question. Where were you at? See, there's me right there. Where were you at, Luke? You had the opportunity to win the tag titles. You and Shockey had your opportunities, and you didn't even show.
Maybe they just,
So
were taking the holidays off. Were they looking for I don't know, workers' compensation, home workers' comp.
I don't
I
know,
don't know.
probably.
I don't think you guys
But
offer, paid time off at home.
I don't think so. But yeah, that's what
But
I want to know. Like,
but you got the roommates championships, and people want those titles. Luke made it clear that he and Shock are going to get them, and they're going to take them away from you and Falcone, and got to make you a little bit upset there a bit.
the problem is Luke has to understand, and he has to. The thing is this: first things first, he has to show up to the show. Second thing second, then he has to realize he has to step in the ring with me, and his track record in the ring with me, not that great. Plus,
Well,
Tom, remember what he said. I brought him to the dance.
yes.
I brought him into this wrestling thing. So that's the
And
and then Shock.
he's talked about his history, his up and down history with Shock, but they're aligned now, and
Finally, they're on the same page, but it's just simple as the fact of the cleaners at House of Misfits hasn't really been having such a great time chasing these. I mean,
well, you have been the one
it.
that's been cleaning up you're the one that's cleaning up right now with the roommates championship medal on your
me and my boy Falcone, absolutely. But
you guys guys good though? You and Falcone, you guys good?
Yeah, we good. We good. He was partying too hardy he was celebrating. But I did get to talk to him. He will be back next House of Misfits show for sure.
All right. Because we're all wondering about that, when you and him are going to be together.
We'll be together on the next House of Misfits event, which is actually on my birthday. So yeah,
well, it's going to be this Sunday, which I still have something I'm going to give you for your birthday. But while we'll keep this on the background, we'll get to some comments. Yep, hello to Luke. Right. I want to say hello to Kyle Shelby of ROBW. Kyle made his debut a little while ago. Congratulations. Kyle was victorious. Looks very good in the ring. Very happy to see that. And he's saying that he got a Kevin Nash brand of weed. So if you're weed out there, you're Joe Star, this is right for your up your alley. This is a Kevin Nash brand of weed out there. Why am I not surprised? So
no.
Yeah. Well,
I feel like Yep. But anyway, here comes the landlord talking about Falcone didn't get his half of the roommates titles because E-Breeze is kind of keeping him hostage right now.
Well,
but
you got yours at least, and
I got mine.
We'll get to some more people in the chat. Blade is here, who was back on Tuesday on Sportswire, who's getting ready for his return to the ring. Like to say, how's it going, gents? Yep, how we doing? And there is Joe Starr, who says about Tyson Spade, he's been going after me for no reason. And Tyson Spade is here. He's here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. And, go follow NEW. We're going to put the home link up here in a minute. And Torrance making his call for Star Clash 7. Yes, he did. He most certainly did. Going to be a match to see. And the man that is here, that I'm sure is here to give you some grief,
Shocky Wrestling. What up, Shocky?
Well, you have to find out what
Shock.
Doing good. And also angry barking noises. If you know, you know.
Angry barking noises.
Hello, hello to Zilla. Tyler Mullins, how you doing, Tyler? Tyler Mullins, okay. There you go. What's good, Torrance? Well, we're having a great I like Kyle.
Dude?
Kyle did very good in the ring earlier tonight. Torrance finally catching his big break, which is long overdue. Well, wait when we get through the chat, because I still got something for you. I didn't get a chance to give it to you with your birthday coming up here. Yes, hello. NEW, the new GBYWN. Yeah, I think that's a good analogy.
That's exactly the thing, but how can it be this new GBYWN when the GBYWN is still going? But we're not going to talk about that right now.
Well, I had Sick Rick on here. I've had Rad on here. Do you consider the GBYWN alive still? I mean, I know they said we're not dead yet, but are they alive?
You're asking me personally? I say, yeah. I think it's still alive. I mean, Shocky and I, we've been to a couple of the legendary shows. Like we've been to WZW and we've been to most of the GBYWN events. So yeah, they're not dead. Not by a long shot. I think they're still alive and thriving.
Okay, so then Shockey needs to retract that his new
No, he
GBYW.
doesn't.
Okay,
No, he
okay.
doesn't. He
Why
don't need to
not?
retract nothing. Because
Okay,
it's
I'm
Shock.
just
Shock does what
saying.
he wants.
Anybody can
Shock does.
say for the most part what they want here, but I thought that was an
Yeah,
interesting analogy, though. It's an interesting one, and obviously,
absolutely.
we see Falcone and the big dog.
Nick,
There's the big dog.
that's
That's
that's one of my friends outside of wrestling.
Oh,
That
well, thank
I've
you. Yes, you're here. If you are one of your friends out of wrestling, outside of wrestling, hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for Torrance. And I got a surprise still for Torrance. So I still got something I'm going to give him. I got to give it to him soon. But do it or Torrance will get triggered. I think this was something a while back in the chat. I don't know what it was,
oh
but
God,
we'll get there. We'll get
oh
there. Hit a follow button
God,
for Torrance
Potter.
on Instagram. Very excited. I'm with Jake. Very excited to see what Torrance is going to do with Star Clash. Yes, Star Clash 7 coming up. And
Absolutely.
Joe Star
Me
did say,
versus.
you find me, brother. But God, what'd you want to say?
Ooh, I said me versus Shima's gonna be a fun time.
I
can tell
can't
you
wait
guys
for that.
that
That I'm
right
excited
now.
about. That I'm really excited about that. That's going to be really, really great. And Joe says you know where to find him.
Absolutely. But
Well,
yeah.
Joe, he's actually here right now, Joe. Joe, he's here on Sportswire. So yeah, you can find him.
I think he means after Star Clash. I know
Yeah,
where to
I
find him.
know, I know. I'm being facetious.
The thing is, Joe Star, the thing is you gotta hey, you see what Jake wrote.
Yes. I want to take this off the screen because I think
Me versus Joe Star would be a banger. I mean,
I
he's
agree.
not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong. He's
But I
not
think Joe
wrong.
Starr's got more problems in Tyson Spade first. He's got Tyson
Yeah.
Spade still. That's all I'm saying.
Especially in what they say it was a death match. They said it's gotta be up Tyson Spade's alley though.
I think he's been the Northeast champion before. He's motivated right now, and yeah, it's gonna be Tyson's gonna talk about plenty of it. I'm sure we're gonna see some of it on Vortex tomorrow. And Joe, my man, Shocky's happy. What's up, Shocky? Stefan Havoc, who's gonna be here next week at some point, is saying what's
going
up,
on, Havoc?
All the degenerates in the chat. That's a good one, good term. And he is, of course, one half of the NEW Tag Team Champions, and he is always got something to say. Yes.
So I'm gonna say with Havoc and I guess the saying goes, game recognizes game. I guess. I mean, he's got his tag team title behind, game recognized game.
I'll go with it. I'll definitely go with it. Yep. You almost called him a kid. Well, and Joe says, "Don't worry, Tom. I'll be able to keep this title even if it kills me. But I'm ready to die if Spade is." Well, if you die, you don't keep the title. You lose it.
Please don't die. I don't need you to die, Joe Star.
I didn't know when you die, possessions go along with you. I was told when you die, it all stays here, but who knows? Let's move on here. Speaking of people that are going to be in NEW for the Riot in the Ring coming up in June, this is Mr. Ox McCoy. Ox McCoy. What's your thoughts on the Riot in the Ring, by the way? What is your thoughts on that? A little not up your alley, right?
Sounds like it could be a fun time. Sounds like it'd be a fun time.
Fun time for you to do maybe a Torrance Chronicles thing rather than in the ring, right? Maybe
Torrance Chronicles vlog. Depends on what happens. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I might have to bust out the vlog camera and start vlogging.
I have to say this. Ox may kill me for this, but if you're friends with Ox on Facebook, check out his Facebook poster because it has like a cheese grater stapled to his head.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he definitely is in the spirit. The man that's going to be here Sunday, Mr. Il Drago. Hope all is well. Let's get it with the stream. Yeah, a lot of people are excited for you. You got a lot of people here tonight. A lot of people want to talk on a Friday. What else are you going to do on a Friday night? I mean, you're not watching SmackDown, NBA celebrity basketball, But let's get to more comments. All due respect, Torrance, you can try to take this title away from me, but I'll have to say, bro, you need to try all that you got because I'm going through hell and back to keep it on my shoulder. In Joe lingo, But
Joe Star, I hope so, man. I mean, we'll see what happens. Maybe sometime, I don't know. Maybe sometime during the summer, you and I run it. Either another house party or somewhere. It doesn't matter where.
Yeah. And hello to Ox. Hello to Il Drago.
Drago's here. What's going on?
My best friend, we referencing home. My best
I
friend.
was that was what I was referencing.
All right, you
My
know
best
what?
friend
I'm gonna say it, right, because Onyx we saw last week in the All Out War Rumble. He's been a huge part of things in home, obviously, as the head of home here. But maybe one of these days Onyx should tell his side of the story on sports, right? You're here, Shocky's been here, Draven's been here, Vargas has been here. What's your opinion on that? Do you think that would be a good idea from your vantage point at home, or I shouldn't go there with the head
that
of
Onyx should come on the show and set his side of the story?
Yeah,
absolutely.
So,
absolutely. So? I think like the old saying goes, there's two sides to every story. There's Vargas's side, which he told. I feel that Onyx should, and I know Vargas is going to get mad at me if I say this, but I feel like Onyx should come on Sportswire, and tell his side of the story. Maybe there's things that aren't adding up to the feud.
I think that he should have his side of the story. I think that he should
absolutely.
My friend Judas the Evil Angel. Good evening, Tom and Mr. Banks. Hope all is well. Has anybody ever told you you're related to Philip Banks at all from Fresh Prince?
No one's ever told me that, but I have been called Carlton a couple of times.
You don't look like Carlton. I mean,
No. Even though I know a guy whose name is Carlton, but we're not going to talk about him either. But
let's not
like
do
I said. Speaking
of somebody that may know Onyx, yes, somebody that would know the champion.
It could be somebody who knows Onyx. It could be. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Onyx should come on your show.
Yeah, he should
come on to Sportswire in prime time and tell his side of the story.
Yes, I agree. Don't trust anybody. A saying you have to live by. Trust me, I would know a thing or two about betraying. Yeah, and his company. Yes, he's probably could tell us about that. Rhea Silver couldn't tie my boots. That's a strong statement. That's a strong allegation. I mean, Rhea Silver could, I'm sure, tie his boots.
Accusations.
And follow home. Give home a sub on YouTube. Do that.
Absolutely.
Yes. And Abram Storm is here. How you doing? Neither could that joke Jake did. Well, very strong words to Jake.
Man, Vargas, why are you starting more wars with other people? Like, stop
you know what? They got their own problems to worry about. But yeah, that's a different company. What's up, bro? Keep up the great work. Yes, and hang on. I have something for you very soon.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
I think
we need a home versus.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a good idea, but the question is though, who you put in it though? That's the main question. Who do you put in it from home? Who you put in it from NEW?
Can you coexist though with Shockey right now and Vargas and Draven? Yeah.
Can I coexist with two guys who are after my championship and Vargas, a guy who I absolutely respect? I can get along with Vargas. Shockey and Luke, oh no. I mean, it's up to them.
Who's the five? You're going to be on it, right? I mean,
that's the main question, Mr. David Stewart. The question is, who would be the five from House of Misfits, and who would be the five from NEW?
You know what? To be fair,
that's the main question.
Who's on the NEW five? Because Jake and Serge don't get along.
That's what I'm saying.
Savage is
doesn't Jake have his own group?
He'd have Rhea and Zero. But then
it'd probably be him, Rhea Zero, probably Leonidas and Joestar.
I'm gonna say maybe Tyson Spade. I'm gonna go Tyson Spade, and maybe
Shima.
Maybe Shima or Kuma. I would go with one. The
only reason I say Shima is because if Shima's in it, then I got to be in it.
Dude, I will say Kuma has the longest intro in history. Does he trying to be the Undertaker of underground wrestling? Does he not realize that?
No. but I know exactly what you're talking about with his long entrance.
I thought my intros were long. Jake says mine. Wake him up at night. Kuma's got longer intros than we have on Sportswire. But hit the sub button on YouTube and this guy, he's a troll. We'll leave him. We're going to take him off the stream. We're going to take him off.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's some guy. We're going to leave him. I think he doesn't know better. So we're going to put him in timeout because guys like you will, they'll give him a ride in the ring. So we're going to say thank you very much for tuning in. Poor guy. But, Vargas, you couldn't hang with Power Surge at the Riot in the Ring 1 and beat him multiple times. Yeah, well, here you go. I fell down.
We know, Shockey. We know. I fell with you. I kind of fell with you on that double choke slam. We both fell.
He cheated by grabbing the plate.
I think they're talking about the womp womp Mickey.
And then we got the wedding. Here we go. Who else we got?
Yep.
There. It is Comatose, who just shared our link on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you,
Comatose.
Nice. I'm gonna get you because there's people I know you want to talk about. I want to get to that, but I still have something for you. Never say never, Zilla. We got eyes. Here we go. Eyes in the back. Tell him, Luke. Understand. I think that's what we just talked about a few minutes ago. James. Yeah,
we were just talking about that.
I'm gonna get to names. I know we're getting there. And by the way, Comatose said you're pure entertainment. You might be great.
Thank you, Comatose. I appreciate it.
Comatose has a podcast also. Maybe you should go on Comatose's podcast.
Maybe, yeah. Why not? But thank you, Comatose. I appreciate that compliment. Yeah. Man. I 100% appreciate it.
WZW is dead. Yeah. Well, WTW.
I know, Shockey. I know they're dead, but
we wrestled on their last.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Yes,
I gotta go with the Abram Storm. I've heard of Torrance Banks before. I saw him in XTCW. What a cool guy. Draven talked about XTCW. A lot of fond memories of XTCW.
What a time. What a time. That Onyx guy, I kind of tagged with him back in XTCW. Yeah. We showed a little bit of the footage. We showed some of the footage
last Monday on the show. And, XTCW was, quite a product, quite a history that it had.
Absolutely. It just sucks the way that it ended, though, which is stupid. But then I saw you show
wrestling, but that's what we talked about RWA, right? With the potential that it had,
But with XTCW, you had Luke on the show. I saw you showed a little promotion before XTC, before we went to XTCW. I believe it was called SWA.
Yes, I did. Yeah, and I think Luke didn't want me to show it. I could pull it back up. I mean,
good old fun times. Fun times. You don't have to show it if you don't want to.
I can pull it up while you talking. But we'll put I'm gonna type it in while you do it. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, that was a good time way back when. Like me, Shockey. Well, it was me and Shockey first. Then I brought Luke. Then Vargas. Vargas came. And then, that's how the four of us became boys. How the four of us became friends and stuff like that. But then, the way everything went.
Darren Crow, a man that, we've been talking about here before. There you go.
Yep. My old friend. Darren Crow. Good old times. Yep. This was the end of an era event. When it was me versus Darren, we wanted to prove, okay, who was better, and did my in-ring work with XTCW help myself in SWA? That's what I wanted it to be like when me and Darren did this match.
How does stuff like this help you in your career where you are today?
I would physically go back. Like I physically would go back and have tape study. Like I would physically go back and watch.
I've heard some guys talk about that. Yeah.
I'm a very hard critic on myself. I am a very, very hard critic on me as to who I am as me as a person. I'm always trying to find my way to get better. Whether it's get better in the ring, like what bumps I should take, what bumps I shouldn't take. Because I'm a big guy. I'm a big guy myself.
I didn't know.
And it's like, I just go back, watch tape study, and see, okay, how can I get better in the ring? Can I get better in the ring with me being an elder statesman, and like, what can I do to help myself?
What'd you learn from being in the ring with Darren?
That Darren is one tough SOB and has a future in this business. It has a future in this business as a wrestler. But when it's me and him, when me and him wrestle, he brings out the best in me. just like when him and Shockey wrestle each other. They bring out the best in each other. So, but yeah, he brings out the best in me, just like Shockey does. So,
on Shockey, we know him and Darren. He spoke a lot about Darren when he was here. That's a very interesting point. Well, we'll keep this on the screen. Let's get to some comments. We're going to hang out longer. Let me know. Joe is, I think, talking about you, and Mickey doesn't like about giving Onyx the floor. I thought we were.
Talk about Onyx's story.
Wait a minute. Sports. I thought we were all wrestling matters. We have to give everybody equal airtime. I guess he doesn't believe in that. I guess he doesn't believe in equal opportunities.
Nope. Well, when it comes to Onyx, he doesn't give a damn about him.
Well, I mean, that's up to Onyx, though. If Onyx wants to come on Sportswire, and
that's true.
Joe, chill on the outsiders and title challenges. I'm right here in NEW with you. Okay, good line. Good line. I get the point. Eyeballs. Here we go. Where am I going here? Lots of first time evers. Yes. And by the way, if you want to watch some of this, hit the sub button on Torrance's YouTube page. I would really appreciate that here. And at the end of the day, we're brothers. The titles are just business.
Absolutely, Luke. Absolutely.
And the cleaners stand on business. And this cleaners stand on... And the business, I would assume, would be that 5-on-5 matchup. But we are here on Sportswire. I think I want to give you something now. I want to put some history out there. I'll come back to some of this. I want to talk about... You had a list of people you want to wrestle. We'll come back to some other things in home. I'll do that here. We'll let you play out the choke slam, and that was definitely a vicious choke slam. Yeah, I'm not getting in the ring with you. And we'll take this off the screen for now, because
right.
We'll
but like that. I said, but like you said though, to everybody who want to watch how that match ended, go to the Torrance Chronicles channel.
And by the way, you got 2 new YouTube subscribers since I posted the link. Got 2 more. See, there you
absolutely.
go.
So,
and
like I said, if you want to go. That is true.
But
that is true. Vargas was there before Luke.
Good.
All right. So,
we
continue further. No, it's on you, Tom.
All right. Well, I'm glad because I was waiting for that. So now, okay, I got that. I got a lot of stuff still I want to talk with you on, but there is something that I want to give. I know your birthday's coming. I know history and, a lot of stuff. I want to do something different. Usually I would have gave you the day, but I got something better than the day. It's going to be something I think a lot of people are going to walk away and go, wow, you know what? He definitely deserves his part of history. So only Mr. Banks, you are the big dog. And obviously, I know since you are the big dog, you're one half of the Roommates Champions. I wanted to be, if it was okay with you, share my screen and present you something that would maybe show why you are the big dog. And maybe we're going to honor your birthday just a little early. And maybe only if you insist, though. Only if you insist.
By all means.
You know what? All right.
It is your show, by all means.
I appreciate that because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, boom! Congratulations.
Whoa.
You're the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. There you go. You got my John. You got the date. You got the logo. You got the number. I'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. Happy birthday. Congratulations.
That is awesome. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that 100%. But
I was I could give you a day, but you know what? Let me go the extra mile. You've been doing this a long time. You've definitely grinded. You're from New York. Let me honor one New Yorker to another. Let's put you in the Hall of Fame. I think the time is now. It's the right time. I think you're going to do a lot of big things this year. You've already done a lot of big things. And I think that you've earned it, and it's your time. And congratulations on being the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. This award's not even about me. It's not. It's more about the people that I faced and the fact that they pushed me through. They helped me get through it. Beforehand, I never thought I would want to step into a ring at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that a lot of people were able to push me to it. For example, the life of a not so pro wrestler in the comments.
I know.
Shockey pushed me to get back in the ring and get back to get back to business and, you know what I mean? Like, get back to everything that I've done. And him and Vargas and Luke, they've all,
And Vargas, you're going to get there. You're going to get there. It was just Banks was here tonight.
I'm just saying, those three men have helped me become who I am today. And if it wasn't for those three, who knows where I'd be? I'd probably be at home, not even wrestling.
You'd be home, literally. You'd be home.
I'd be sitting at home looking at footage thinking, what could have been? Like, what could have been? What could I have done? But
I think we're going to get more people in, but I think that you did deserve to be in on the body of work. I think that looking at who you are, you've also established yourself in other avenues outside of in the ring. You've been at it a long time, and I think that really its career speaks for itself, and I think that you're a Hall of Famer. I mean, look, it's I know it's a one-man vote, yours truly, but I think you the recognition should be there more. I think home should get more recognition here. I think we've been doing that of late. And I think that, you guys, I'm sure, Vargas and Shock and, Draven, and I'm sure some others will follow in foot. I'm sure Vargas won't like Onyx being on here. But I think that the body of work is that guys here at home, I think that you guys deserve the recognition. And I think that, we're going to fix that this year.
Absolutely. I hope so. I honestly hope we can get more of them.
I put you in. I mean, so I think that's
true. But I'm saying, I'm hoping we could get more guys on Sportswire than just
Draven was here last Monday. Vargas and you were here. About a couple weeks back. I mean, I think I'd love to have Onyx on. I mean, I'm sure Shocky if the time ever works. But yeah, absolutely, the doors definitely open. We have Shocky's been great. We have a great relationship. Everybody, guys in the company. I mean, everything's great. So I don't see. I'm very open-minded. Everybody's always, welcome here. That's just how it goes. Except for, some exceptions of examples. But I think, you guys, will I'm sure get to do. But I think with your birthday coming, I thought that'd be, a nice gesture.
And I really appreciate it, Tom. I really do.
No problem. And we're definitely proud of you. That's definitely for sure that, yes, you definitely deserve it. Congratulations to Torrance.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you, Zilla.
A lot of people, Dark Khan, congratulated you. Yep. Humble beginning.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's not going to be so humble when I ask you the next question here, but shine on. James Taylor wasn't here on Sportswire. I don't know how we say hello to James. He wasn't here. I mean, he might have been in the chat, but I don't see.
I think he was in the chat earlier.
Yeah, but he wasn't on the stream. I didn't see him on the stream. But speaking of which, you know what? I got that. Speaking of which, you and I were talking off the air. You were going over different things, and you had a list of people this year that you wanted to wrestle in 2025, and you were referencing that. You encouraged me to ask you this question. You are live. You're now a Hall of Famer. You're in prime time on a Friday night. You got the floor for as long as you want. So, Torrance Banks, I mean, who is on your list of opponents that you want to wrestle this year in 2025?
My list. There are two people on the top of my list that I want to wrestle. One of them, we talked about him earlier for the Chase Wakefield part of the Stepdads.
Yep,
I want to wrestle Rad Dad, but there's one other person. I mean, I'm already getting my match at Star Clash 7 with Shima, so Shima don't need to worry about Shima.
Shima don't count because Shima is NEW business. Okay.
Yep, there's one, and he has a promotion in New Jersey.
Okay, let me think. Is it Yaya the Gremlin?
No, think about the number 7 most watched wrestling promotion on YouTube.
Oh, GTS.
Yes.
You want Grem?
I don't want Doo-Hop. I don't want LJ Wash. I don't want Adam Bazar. I want the head. I want the head of the buffet table. I want the tribal chef. Yes. I want Grim. I want Grim in a match one-on-one. I don't care if it's at GTS. I don't care if Grim has to come to freaking Shocky's house party. I don't care if I got to wait in an NEW ring. I want Grim one-on-one in a match.
All right, now I'm really trying to bite my tongue because I have some thoughts on Grimm. But since we've had 2 WWE wrestlers on here and about 5 other pro guys, I'm going to go along and say, yeah, I would love to see you with Grimm. I'm going to bite my tongue on half of what I think about Grimm because we had more WWE guys that are going to come on to Sportswire. So I'm on my best behavior. But I would love to see you wrestle with Grimm. I would love to see it. I would love to see you because, I think you could go to GTS because I had on Austin James. I had on it was Austin James, his brother, Sean Phoenix, and it was Jay Luther. They went to GTS. They're guys in DBW. I'm sure you heard of DBW. They went there.
I've heard of them. Yep.
They were there. I mean, so Devin Adams, who was here yesterday, had a match in GTS with Tarzan Duran. So I think
Him
that
too. Devin Adams too. I want Devin Adams as well.
Devin Adams, that would be a good one. And Devin Adams, by the way, the WTW guys were in the chat yesterday. Robo Stoner and, Andrew White was here. And, I think you and Devin Adams would be a very fascinating match for sure. For sure.
Absolutely. Like, I feel like, because I've seen Devin Adams. I've seen him I think I've seen him in
CPW.
Was he in GTS?
He was.
He had a match.
He had a match. Was it JJ that had a match with? I think JJ had a match with Tarzan, but he had a
skit. I saw them.
JJ JJ who beat Tarzan, but Devin, I'm pretty sure was there in a Rumble or something like that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
we talked about it.
Yep. I either want Devin Adams or Grimm, and then I also want to see Rad Dad.
Well, Rad, I think being the legendary YouTube champion, I think that would be,
That's not the one I want. That's not the. I mean, he's got the legendary title. I want the other one, the other world title he's carrying. That one.
Oh, you want the GBYWN?
I want that world title.
See, I agree with you on that. See, I agree with you on that. I take stock in the GBYWN title more because of the GBYWN history. I agree with you on that. From
the lineage.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Because the lineage
Ospreay was in the GBYWN. I mean, so to me, I agree with you. The GBYWN, that championship has a more linear title history than the GTS YouTube title. Really, just the YouTube.
Don't get me wrong. You can't really have a GTS YouTube title lineage if Grimm's name's on it 16, 17 times. You can't really have that as a lineage belt. Like, it's the biggest name on the. It's the biggest name on YouTube.
Yeah, I think Rad with the GBYWN title and you guys intersecting with that GBYWN history, that makes sense. I would agree with you that you going against Rad, and I'll mention that when Rad comes back on to Sportswire, he will be back on probably in April. He'll probably be back in April because I speak to Rad and he'll be back here. But I would definitely say that would make more sense to me than you going after the legendary YouTube title. I just think
it'd make more sense because you don't really see me on GTS, but you see me everywhere else, and it's like,
yeah.
If I ever did wrestle Rad and beat Rad, I would.
You could also look at it. You know what? And in defense of Grimm, actually, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to say, you know what? Maybe you're onto something because Gabe wrestled Grimm. Gabe wrestled him last year. So you know what?
I saw that.
If Gabe wrestled Grimm, why not you? I mean, so to me, I think that if Gabe could go out there and be a huge part of GTS alongside Angel Santiago and some other guys, Castor's been there. I mentioned
Doc Holliday's been there.
Again, another GBYWN, gem. I mean, so all those guys could be a part of it. I mentioned Jay Luther, Austin James, Sean Phoenix. I would say maybe, you know what? Maybe you're not far off. Maybe you could have a match with Grimm because if Gabe did it, why not you?
The thing is this: all I need is the chance. All I want is the chance and the opportunity. That's all I want. To get a chance to step in the ring with Grimm, whether it's in GTS or elsewhere. Don't matter to me, really.
Well, I think it would be you would most likely want to have it in GTS. It's the number 7 company in the world. It's number 7.
More likely, yeah. That's where all the eyes are.
Yeah, it's 1 million plus subs. You're getting 30, 40,000 views minimum of pop on a show. Yeah, I don't want to have the match, on the Mickey Mouse Network. I want to have it on GTS TV. I mean, I might, but I mean, like in terms of where the audience would be,
I'd rather have it on GTS.
Yeah,
that's just my opinion.
That's a good. But I think those are two names that, like, I don't hear Grimm that much on here. Guys tell me I want to match you. I don't really have that many. I mean, I really don't. So that's a good one. I think Grimm's a good one. And I think Rad's history, Rad Hazard, Rad had the stepdads. They were in the ring with the Rock and Roll Express. I mean, if you're a fan of like backyard or underground wrestling, Rad is one of the most important figures,
He's a really big name. Like he's up there.
He's a big name on the independents. He's a big name on the independents. He goes out there, he and Papa Bear. They're a big draw. They're a legitimate big draw. So I feel like from a historical aspect, that's a good one.
I mean, I wouldn't mind it if it happens one day. Hey, and I win the belt.
Rad. I could ask Rad Grimm. I'm just gonna say I hope it happens. That's all I'm gonna say. But Rad, I will definitely be back on Sportswire. I could definitely ask Rad about you.
I'm just saying, like, imagine this: me winning the GBYWA. You know what I would do? I would come back on Sportswire.
I'm kind of waiting for that to happen on Sportswire. Winking and nod with Rad.
We shall see what happens.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan. Rad's, I don't want to tip my hand too much, but yes, that's the plan. I'll tell you some of the plans off the air. But what places would you want to travel conversely to? I know Vargas just did text. We hear with that before Vargas went down there. I know you're back in NEW. I mean, you want to go to Wakefield's wedding? Are there other companies you'd like to go to? You'd like to visit?
I've been hearing a lot about like DBW. I've been hearing a lot about like WTW. I've been hearing a lot of different promotion names.
DBW is a good one though, because I feel like DBW is one that I feel like if I'm gonna do a different style than NEW, DBW is one that would be good. Wakefield's there. There's some other guys that maybe have intersected in WZW in the past. So I feel like DBW would be a good one for guys to kind of say, you know what, I want to test. If I'm a local guy, if I'm a Northeast guy, I think DBW would be an interesting one.
Yeah, because I heard DBW is like one of the top of the Northeast companies.
Yeah,
like one of them besides NEW as well. So
yeah, it's a different product than NEW, but it's it's DBW's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's TF Crew, NEW. I mean, they're more in their kind of
Speaking of them, I want to go to TF Crew.
Well, what? All of your brethren have been in TF Crew. Where have you been? I was kind of,
I don't know.
O'Malley. I mean, where have you been on that? I asked Draven that last Monday. I mean, so
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. 518's there. Where's the Unwanted? Where was our invite, Gabe?
Well, Gabe, you had him at Shocky's house party. Did you not petition or ask him on that?
We had him at Shocky's house party.
Yeah, I know. I had you guys on the stream.
He basically, I don't know what happened. We had him show up as the special guest. I didn't even know what was happening until it happened, and then all of a sudden it's like, what the, like we got invited to AEW.
And we're here with the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, Torrance Banks. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, hit the sub button for home, NEW, and Torrance's YouTube channel. But yeah, you had Gabe there the whole day. He traveled there with certain guys that you're wrestling, winking and nod very soon. You mean to tell me that you, Shocky, Draven, didn't ask about going there?
You might want to talk to Shocky and Vargas about that one. I mean, Shocky's usually the one that's like the runner of the ship.
To me, TF Crew's like, that's a no-brainer, because NEW and TF Crew are like peas in a pod. It's like DBW and it's like DBW and VTW. It's like ROEW and IMF, and then it's like NEW and TF Crew. It's like peas in a pod. So I would think naturally NEW, hello, dun-dun-dun. I mean,
would get on TF Crew, but nope, hasn't happened yet. But all I'm saying is like, if Gabe needs any help with TF Crew, it's like, hey, you got a couple.
But then
you got a couple. You got a couple friends out in the 716 that
But
can,
you do know that would mean that you are stepping in the whole thing with Gabe and Jake because they've had, quite a war there in Connecticut in addition to Massachusetts.
I'm not. The thing is this, Tom, I'm not picking sides. The side I'm on is on the side of my brother. I'm not picking sides between those two.
So, but
no
Gabe,
sides between those two.
But you know what, Gabe? I met Gabe. I'm sure you've heard. I met him. I'm sure he'll come back on Sports. Well, he promised he would meet me again. He said, I'm going to come into New York. I'm going to meet you. And I'll ask you about that. My fellow New Yorkers, why aren't we seeing more New York representation in TF Crew? I happen to agree with you on that. What's with our state being disrespected? Seriously, serious question. What's with our state being disrespected? We should be getting more invites. I think with our state, don't you think?
Absolutely. Come on, Sayers. We've been wanting an opportunity like this for a while now. And it's we got to get the wheels going somehow.
What do you think?
We got to get them going somehow. So it's
what do you think's the holdup? I
don't know. Maybe because Gabe's got a lot of guys.
How far is it from Buffalo to where you was it like 5 hours, right? 5-6 hours? I think that's what Luke said.
Probably,
right?
Yeah, like 5 hours. 5 hours, 6 hours, I think. But the thing is this, it's I think somebody's got to get the wheels going with Gabe. Somebody's got to.
Yeah.
So it's
I agree. I mean,
we'd have no problem. We'd have no problem, doing TF Crew. We'd have no issue doing it.
you guys, to me, that's a natural no-brainer. TF Crew and
we're working with NEW, TF Crew hand in hand with each other. It's but yeah.
You think Gabe maybe the invite got lost in the mail? You think?
Probably. I hope not. But
well, that's got to be changed. I do agree with you, and I see guys, Draven's talking about it, and I think Havoc mentioned it. But those guys have been, Havoc's been there. So I mean, but you Draven, yeah, I mean you Draven, Vargas, Shockey. Let's throw more guys in home. JTA, Onyx. More you guys show up. Grimes, yes. You tag him with Falcone, your tag team partner, Falcone.
Exactly, Falcone as well. It's I need my partner there with me. I mean,
you got it. Yeah, because you got jumped. And I think I'm going to talk to Gabe about this. This is a good point. I think Gabe should definitely, he should definitely do that. I've met the man in person. I've had 8 minutes of time, about 8 minutes, 7.5 to 8 minutes of time with him in real life. So I'm going to ask him next time I see him in Manhattan. He's promised he's coming back. So, I mean, I think that would be a natural no-brainer. So TF Crew, I think you mentioned DBW. Yeah, I'm a DBW fan. I get a lot of the guys on there. I think that'll be a good one. I could definitely, connect into that. That's fine. But I think TF Crew, to me, that's when almost I'm shocked.
No-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. I'm almost shocked in a way that, to quote Shockey's word, and it hasn't happened already. I'm like, hello?
Right? Gabe, what are you doing, man? What are we doing?
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. So tell us your Twitch. You're doing Twitch. I got to promote Twitch before I get to the final thing. Let's talk about, you got a Twitch page, and, you haven't done much with it, but I'm going to put it up anyway.
Basically, my Twitch page is I like to play a lot of mobile games for my phone.
Okay, what games are you playing these days?
I'm playing one of the main games on my phone. I'm playing Call of Duty Mobile.
Okay.
I'm also playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I mean, not Duel Links, Master Duel. I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel on my phone as well. So,
you would fit in the DBW locker room then, because they're big Yu-Gi-Oh! Players there.
Yeah, I'm playing Master Duel on my phone. I'm also playing Call of Duty Mobile on my phone as well. So if anybody who's watching or plays Call of Duty Mobile on their phone need a teammate or anything like that can, help you get wins, you know where to find me. Big Dog Streams, you know where to find me.
What inspired you to get into streaming, Twitch and all that stuff? What's gotten you into that?
I got a couple friends that do Twitch, yeah,
we're actually on Twitch. Yeah, I'm on Twitch. I just stream it through the simulcast, but I don't know.
Yeah, Shockey does it, Vargas does it, and my friend Potter does it.
Gabe is big on Twitch. Gabe has got Gabe's got a lot of followers on Twitch.
Yeah, so those three basically got me to do that got me to do Twitch. So,
Mhm.
and I've wanted to do Twitch for a while. So,
Okay.
like, why not? It's like,
Yeah.
why not get involved? Why not me? Like the
Yeah,
old
a
saying
lot of
goes with
guys,
the wrestling
a
thing,
lot
the
of guys
Twitch thing.
game,
Why
a
not
lot of
me?
guys, a lot of guys, it's a common thing. I see, Sean Jovi does it. I see James Taylor does it. I see a lot of guys, Alan Michaels when he was wrestling did it. A lot of guys stream. So I think why not you? Why not, you know, something different, something to
Yeah.
bring to the table.
Main reason I do it is to like, okay, if it's like after wrestling wise, I need to take a step back to calm myself down from after a match or something, then I'll hop on Call of Duty Mobile or something and
It's
just
funny that you said that because when I used to interview a lot of baseball players, I interviewed a lot of guys in the minor leagues. One guy actually got called up by the Mets, Steven Nagosic, and a lot of baseball players, because you're on the road and you have nothing to do, they would sit around and it's when you're in the minor leagues, it's not the big leagues. You don't have the 7-figure pay. You got your draft money, which is like the guy that interviewed was like 100 grand. It's money, but it's not like you have to save it because you're not getting that much money weekly. So what they would do is basically get about 3 or 4 guys and just sit around and play games. They play Fortnite, they play Call of Duty, and that's what guys in the minor leagues do. They just sit around and, instead of going out and partying because they don't have that kind of money, they would just game, just that's what I've heard a lot what, like I said, baseball players do. When
it's
I
like
interview.
me wise when I'm on the road with the fellas with my unwanted brethren, I'm usually either listening to music on my phone or
I
pretty
saw the
much
vlog. We put it up where you guys went, to some places, Jersey Shore, and the
yep.
SW run, and I saw that.
Yeah, we basically what I was doing because Luke was like, "Oh, Torrance is more the quiet one in the back." I'm like,
You
"Yeah,
quiet? Nah. Who
I
said
was
I
playing,
don't
I was
you don't
playing,
seem quiet at
I was
all.
playing, I was playing COD on my phone. Like some of the
You
trip, I
don't
was playing
seem
COD
like
on
a
my phone.
quiet guy though. I'm
Eh,
lost. You quiet? You're one
well,
of the more entertaining people I've had recently on Sportswire. You quiet? Nah, I don't know about that. I don't know about
well,
that.
when it comes to long road trips like that, like a road trip like we had
Okay. Yeah,
with
you
the
had some big
Jersey
ones.
trip, then that one I'm quiet for because like
Well, it's
the
tiring. It's
car,
fine.
yeah, the sitting still in the whole, uh,
It's tiring because
basically,
the mind is like, let me get there already. And it's like you can't, and it's like you just
absolutely,
can't just,
absolutely. So
it's tough. It's a grind, Some guys I talk to that are in the indies and they've done the long drives, a lot of them in the UK, for example. Some of them said they're great. They love it. Others said they absolutely hate it. Did you like the long drives to these places, whether it's been Jersey
oh,
or NEW or wherever else you've been? You like the long drives or no?
any W trip, I loved it because it's like with the difference between the two trips is like, okay, I'm in one car for one trip, I'm in a different car for another trip,
Hmm.
and the other car, I'm like sitting there watching movies with the friends, and then the one
Right.
trip to Jersey, it's like we were basically listening to music the entire time. Like
I did see that. Yeah. You
it was
mentioned my
basically,
name even in the vlog. That was interesting.
yeah, it was basically a tale. It was basically a tale between two cities, the tale between like two different trips, pretty
Well, if you're
much.
asking me, Jersey's not a great place to go through. I hate to say it, as a New Yorker to New Yorker, but Jersey's like not a great place to go through. I don't know what it is. Jersey's just there's something where I live now. It's like I can see Jersey from like almost like a certain spot by my house, and like Jersey just looks like so depressing. It's like a nuclear power plant experiment gone wrong almost. It's like I
Oh,
don't know.
no.
New Jersey's like, I'll take Brooklyn and Staten Island any day of the week. I never understood, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, how like people from Brooklyn or Staten Island where I grew up would move to Jersey. I never, I hate to say it, my mother lives in New Jersey now. I hate every day that she lives in New Jersey. She's not listening right now, so she'll never hear
I
this,
think
but
it's
you know.
I think it's probably they think the grass is greener on the other side,
It's
but it's
not.
more
It's
of a
worse. I think
but
it's worse.
it's more of a depressing sort of green than
Oh, it's
the money making green. It's
oh
a depressive color green.
Jersey. It's just I don't know, but yeah, I could see why the trip because the mentality. But all right, you know what? We got a lot of it out of the way. Let's talk about a couple of things here coming up. So obviously, you have any final words for anybody that wants to take those roommates championships from you at home?
All I have to say to Luke and Shock, you two know how I am. You two know how I wrestle. We've been up and down the roads together. But when it comes to these roommates championships, like the old saying goes, there aren't really, like you said, it's not at the end of the day, we're all brothers. But sometimes brothers fight, and sometimes the better tag team will win. And I'm telling you right now, the better tag team right now is me and Falcone, because we have these. And like to quote a wise man, to be the champion, you have to beat the champions. And right now, Tom knows the champs are me and Falcone. And we're here. And yeah, basically, to be the man, you got to beat the man. No, I'm not just going to go in my room and start wooing for no reason, because you guys know what quote I'm saying. But, be the champion, you got to beat the champion. And be the man, you got to beat the man.
And it was his birthday recently. He turned 76.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And to Hiroshima, I will see you personally at Star Clash.
Ooh, I'm excited about that.
And I hope, Hiroshima, you are prepared, because it's going to be a fight between the two of us. It's going to be a war. Trust me.
I want to ask you two more questions before we get to closing. First, what are your goals for 2025? I always ask this question. What are your goals for 2025?
Well, last year, my main goal was to end the year with championship gold. Last year.
Right.
Obviously, cha-ching. Completed that. This year, on the other hand, I want to elevate. Like, not just elevate myself as a wrestler, but I want to, any championship I get, I want to elevate it more. You know what I mean? Like, I want to bring it to like heights that I know I can bring it to. Like, for example, these tag team titles, I feel like me and Falcone, we could bring them to a proper elevation, because there's a reason why me and him are teaming. There's a specific reason, because me and him, we've been at wars with each other this time, almost the entire time I've wrestled with them in Niagara Falls, and he's wanted to team with me for a while. So me and him are a team. The team is based on respect between me and him. So that's a positive thing. I just want to elevate I want to elevate any championship I get to the next level to the levels that it needs to be.
It's a good point.
And also prove myself to other companies that, hey, I can be that guy for you.
Well, you know what? You're here tonight. You had a lot of people tune in. And I think that with NEW, you talked about TF Crew. We talked about some other places. I definitely agree on that. And also, if you want to continue to follow Torrance, that's his Instagram page, and do that. I want to ask you, if you had one or two moments in your career that stand out most, what would they be?
One of them was the night I beat JTA for the head of the household championship. Because the weird part about it was, I think it was the next day, one of my idols passed away, and it was a sad day for me that day. Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, passed away the day after I won the
year and a half
ago. The day after I won the head of the household championship, which
summer was summer, August, was it August 23? Something like that, right?
Yep, our very first Yardcade event.
Yeah, I remember you talking about. Yes, I do remember that. Yes, actually, you know what? I do remember that. Yes, I remember that. I remember
the night I won the head of the household championship, and then there was another one. We did a Friendsgiving pay-per-view. We did a chamber match.
Oh, yep.
And it was me versus Hunter versus Luke versus Grimes versus Shock. And I was able to pin Grimes and pin Hunter at the same back-to-back to each other. So taking out two of my biggest, what they call ops, was able to handle that business no problem. But what's going to really be exciting is my birthday, when I walk into House of Misfits, and that crowd will probably go crazy.
Well, you know
because it
what?
is
You're
my
going into
birthday.
your well, you know what? You're going into your birthday now a Hall of Famer. You're going into your birthday
Absolutely. So
with a
so
Hall of
that's
Fame.
gonna
It's a Hall of Famer. It's a pretty cool thing. I could have
that's
gave
gonna
you the
make the
day,
birthday.
but I was like, you know what? I can't give you the day. I'm gonna make you a Hall of Famer. I want you to go in there as a Hall of
Absolutely.
Famer.
And I feel like that is going to make the birthday even more special because number one, I got to hang with you for a little bit on Sportswire. Come
Oh,
on now.
I
On
appreciate that. You know
Sportswire
what?
on
I appreciate.
Sportswire in prime time. So
Yeah,
I'm a
you
pull a
did. You were. I tell you what, you're always welcome anytime. You were really, really, exciting to speak with.
I'm gonna pull a Tom real quick. Hey guys, if you're in the comments, subscribe to Tom Bryce, man. Come on, he's the voice of all wrestling matters. Subscribe to him. Show him some love in the comments. Let's
Yeah.
get him more subscribers, people. Like,
Well, he
come on.
got plenty. You know what? I gotta say, look, I always tell people, I had my moment, in the sun. I had Rhino and Vega here. We didn't pay for it. They wanted to be here. I mean, after that, it's, there'll be more. There's more names coming. That's all I can
And that's
say.
big, and that's big, and that's big stuff. So, and I know once you have those more coming in, we all know you're gonna have more people watching.
Yeah, you know what? It's been great. Yeah, I really appreciate the support. But really, to me, before we close the show, it's about everybody here. Like it's about the NEWs, it's about the homes, it's about the TF crews. And, to me, I wouldn't be anything without NEW, home, TF crew, all the wrestlers that come on here from our circuit, like the underground and the backyard. So the independent circuit a little bit, but the independent circuit to me doesn't have the same camaraderie as the backyard and the underground does. So to me, it's
It doesn't
really
have the same oomph factor
no, it
it used to
doesn't
have.
because it doesn't. I do a lot of independent British wrestling, and it does not have it. In the indies, we have indie guys come on here. They're hitter. Some are good here, some are not. Lately, I had a few good ones. I've had a few not so good ones in terms of what they are here. But I really, to me, the backyard and the underground, I'm nothing without them. And I thank all of you and your support. And I want to pass the baton to you. I want to give you some closing thoughts. I'm going to put your YouTube channel up here one more time. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? And thank you for all that you do for our sport. Thank you for putting your blood, sweat, and tears out there. Thank you for you and what you and Home have done for us and NEW. And I can't thank you enough. Technically, you're a two-time Hall of Famer now because, NEW is in the Hall of Fame. So now that you're at NEW, technically you are a two-time Hall of Famer, just to let you know. So you actually are 2 times in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. So you can take that to Sunday's show coming up. But I will pass the baton to you. I will give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you'd like to plug, share, or say? And you got 3 subs tonight. You've actually got 3. So we got one more since I last put it up. So maybe we'll get some luck and get you one more sub. And the floor is yours, my friend, and fire away.
My main thing that I want to say, first thing I want to say is thank you to everybody who has supported House of Misfits, supported this journey that we've started. And yeah, House of Misfits wouldn't be anything without everybody watching, and I wouldn't be anything without all of you guys watching either. Yes, I may be a loose cannon. Yes, I may rattle some. Maybe yes, I may rattle some feathers here and there, but that's just me. That's just me. That's just who the big dog is as a person. He's not, he's not a guy that'll tell someone he's an asshole. I'm a guy who will tell you you're an asshole to your face and then proceed to out wrestle you in a match. But the main thing is this. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to Tom for having me on the show. It's been awesome, Yeah. It's been an awesome show. Don't forget to check out NEW Vortex Saturday.
12 o'clock tomorrow. Yep. I should be in the chat.
12 o'clock tomorrow, because I know Shockey and Vargas have a lot they want to say.
They're in the sure. They're in the video package. Yep. There.
They got a lot they want to say. And I know me calling out Shima, big deal. I still want to. He's somebody who I've wanted to wrestle. It's at Shockey's house party again.
Yep.
And yeah, I hope you guys stay tuned to House of Misfits, because it's going to get a lot more. I wouldn't say crazier, but if you stay tuned, it's gonna get a little. We're gonna get a little more. a little more nuts. So
Well, I'm
everybody,
looking forward to covering that. I'm looking forward to talking about that these next, few months.
absolutely. And Tom, did you know
Yes,
Copper
sir.
Dragon, Copper Dragon reviewed a me and Vargas match?
Actually, yes, I
Copper
did.
Dragon, yeah,
I,
he
I
reviewed.
you know why I shouldn't. I don't know if I should say this on the air, but let's just say that your match got reviewed by Mr. Dragon. You got viewed,
Yep,
right?
me
Um,
and Vargas, yeah.
let's just say that it's a very likely probability that I spoke to Mr. Dragon about you and Mr. Vargas.
Oh snap! But
Let's just
yeah,
say I speak to Mr. Dragon. I speak to him very. I don't want to say too much because he might be watching this, but I actually just had a long conversation with him not too long ago, and certain your company NEW came up, so yeah, he's definitely watching you guys. Definitely, he's a big fan of you
hope
guys.
so.
Yeah, no, he is. He really does. He has not put up as many videos lately, and I you know what? Thank you for reminding me. I forgot to say this for about 4 days now. Copper Dragon, follow him on Instagram now, not so much TikTok because the TikTok
Yeah,
he's giving up on TikTok, but he's doing more stuff on Instagram. He's got videos coming. He's gonna have some new stuff coming. It's gonna be slow but surely, but give him some
he's
time.
still is he
Yep.
still reviewing matches
Yes, but
on
he's
his
a
nice.
Patreon on Patreon and Instagram. So he's gonna be back. He got some stuff. I know it's not been a lot of stuff recent. I know Shocky's on here. I
And
heard,
yep,
but
Havoc
he's
and
gonna have more
Havoc
stuff.
and Hunter's on there. I see Havoc and Hunter's match on there
C2K's
from
on
House
there.
Party.
C2K's on there. Check it out.
Oh
Yeah.
boy!
Well,
Oh
maybe
boy! Oh no!
I'm not going there actually. But what I
Nope.
will say is, yes, he will be doing some more stuff. Patreon, Instagram are going to be up more. He's actually just got a new job, so he's kind of settling with that, but he's going to do some more videos soon, and he's been paying attention closely. I had a long conversation with him, and he's going to come back onto Sportswire in the spring, so pepper him with as many matches that you want him to watch. He will most take a look at them. Yes, no, he's going to come back on. He's very excited to be back. He's settling in, and he's definitely very supportive of everybody here, and he's very thankful for everyone's support. So check out Copper on Instagram, and yeah, he's definitely. I think I did speak to him about your match with Vargas. I'm trying to think. I think I did. So
Nice.
I shouldn't say too much, but I just did. But I do also want to say happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies out there. There's one lady that was watching this. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I thank you for tuning in. You probably tuned out, but thank you very much for tuning into the show. Thank you to everybody that was here watching us. Also, want to wish a happy birthday to my friend Jake Davis from the UK. Yesterday was his birthday. Forgot to give him a plug, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jake.
I want to give a big shout out to my friends, my buddy Anthony Finkel from the friendly, well, not so friendly confines of Brooklyn, because his band Rust Eater has a show coming up. It's actually coming up tomorrow. I promised I'd give him a plug. They're playing in Queens, which I want to make sure people get a chance to look at it. They're going to be playing here. It's one of their first shows. They just played a couple weeks ago, their first show. They're playing now in Queens at the El Bunker del Diablo. It's a new place that's opened up, and it's at 2203 Jackson Avenue. Tickets are $15, and it's 6 o'clock as the doors are open. So the guys are going to be playing throughout the night. It's going to be a good bill. It's going to be a lot of stuff to check out. So if you like some hard and heavy music, you want to see the band, Rust Eater, Anthony Finkel, longtime friend of mine, 10 years, one of my biggest supporters out there playing bass guitar. Check out the rest of the band, and they'll play a set, and that'll take place coming up here this Saturday. And you can follow Rust Eater on Instagram at Rust Eater Band, and they definitely eat a lot of rust because they probably break a lot of strings when they're playing the guitar, and they're going through a lot of drumsticks when they're banging the drums very loud. But they do a great job. They're an up-and-coming young band out of Brooklyn, and they play out of South Brooklyn. They practice in Garrison Beach and come from neighborhoods that I'm very familiar with. They've done a lot of work in the community for it. Anthony has been a man that served the community alongside me. Thank you, Anthony, for that. Want to thank you for tuning in, and also remind everybody that this is the newest Hall of Famer here for our Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. The big dog is entered, and yes, you are the second Hall of Famer from the Empire State as a wrestler alongside Stephen Havoc. So that makes two. I'm sure Shockey, Vargas, and the rest of the gang will join. But until then, thank you so much for all that you do for our sport. I can't wait to have you back on here in the next few weeks and talk more about home and anything else that's in your journey. And I'll be watching tomorrow and can't wait to see what you and Shima do at Star Clash 7.
Absolutely. It's going to be fun. I can tell you that. So.
The best is yet to come. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. That is one half of the Roommates Champions and House of Misfits Entertainment Backyard Wrestling, Torrance Banks, the big dog. He is our newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. You're going to see him coming up in NEW Underground Wrestling this weekend, also for home, House of Misfits Entertainment Backyard Wrestling. It is his birthday coming up this Sunday. Wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, Torrance. Thank you for all that you do for us.
Thank you very much, Tom.
And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. And if you're here, like, share, and follow this video. Hit the sub button for us. Also, more NEW coverage tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern time with Tyson Spade. So you'll be watching that because I'm sure I'll be talking about a guy you have your sights set on in the Northeast champion, Joe Starr. So I'm sure a lot of familiar things we'll talk about here in prime time with you that I'll do with Tyson Spade. But until then, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all the moms out there, all the beautiful ladies. There was one that was watching. Happy Valentine's Day to you. I'll see you soon. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Thank you, everybody. Good night.